Hi everybody, it's me, Jordan here, and today I want to talk about dealing with HR blocks. Now, just in case you're wondering, they're a tax filing company, I guess, agency. Well, I don't know where they're defined as. And there's many of them out there, and many of them do various things, and many of them charge different fees for their different services. Now, Jordan says, the only reason why I use them is to file either local income tax, and that's usually about it. Now you might say, oh Jordan, but your company. Yeah, but my company doesn't really make that much money, only makes maybe 100 or so, and it never goes over that. To my understanding, you have to make at least more than 100 before you have to start filing federal and state income taxes, but by default you have to file state income tax regardless of your income level or not. So I use H&R blocks because they have a more better reputation, and they tend to explain things more better, and they don't charge that much. Now people are going to say, oh, is it worth having some third party do it? Well, it depends if you're going to get a lot back. If you're going to get a lot of money back from either federal, state, county, or local, then it's probably worth it. But if you're not going to be getting anything back from federal, state, county, or local as far as income tax or real estate tax is concerned, then it's probably not worth it, and you probably end up doing it yourself, and you probably either will make some mistakes or you won't understand everything that's written down. It usually goes down something like this. So Jordan, you want your local income tax filed? Yeah, by default I have to file for local income tax, even though I don't make that much anyway. Any money I do make coming from my acting gigs, don't really make that much, so I don't have to pay any federal, don't make that much, so I don't have to file anything on federal and state income taxes. But local I do. Yeah, unfortunately everybody has to do it. And since you live in North Basales Township uses Keystone holding groups. So you're going to have to mail them out the check, and they'll have to send the amount of money to North Basales Township for their local income tax for that year. Yeah. But here's another thing that's really hilarious about using them. Okay, I know a lot of people think, now this is usually a flip perception, a lot of people think there are a lot of questions about federal, state, county, and local income tax, or property tax, or real estate tax, or sales tax that you might not know. Plus, Jordan says, most people, mostly, and you ask a lot of questions. The common question I normally ask is how auditing works. Now, Jordan said, I've heard about people getting audited by the Internal Revenue Service and the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue. What's that basically mean? Basically, what audit means is that the Internal Revenue Service or the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue wants to know if you can present documentation or any proof for anything you say or have written down on your tax forms. So it's not like I'm being found guilty of tax evasion. No, it's not like you're being found guilty of tax evasion or tax fraud. If you've been doing, like, you're honest, okay, and you do have documentation just in case they would ever ask, but that is to make sure that people are not committing tax fraud, and to make sure people are not invading either. It just needs proof of documentation. It's not like, it's not like they're accusing you of federal income tax invasion or state income tax invasion or anything like that. Well, that's good to know, because I always thought an audit meant that they were investigating you for either, tax invasion or something like that. Now, a lot of people tend to think that this is another thing why I don't really get about it. But it seems to be that these people tend to know more about it than you do. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, how these people understand stuff and how they become federal, state, county, and local tax experts, I don't know, but somehow they do. So I technically only use them when filing for my local income tax, because by default, everybody has to file for local income tax regardless of their income level or not. Of course, there are different tax brackets when it comes to federal, state, and county, of course. You know, if you make only 100, then you don't have to file for federal and state income taxes. But if you make more than 100, you have to file for federal and state income taxes. But if you don't own any property, then you don't file for county property tax. But since I'm renting, Jordan says I don't own the property, so I don't have to worry about county real estate tax. And here's another thing that always makes it funny. They always end it by giving you a card. Well, here's my card. If you have any questions, ask me. You know, of course. You know, thank you for the time. Oh, by the way, most likely the state might send you your refund on any state income taxes if you have paid any, of course. And federal usually ends up paying people who will be the last to pay. Well, thank you. And you're welcome. Now, a lot of people might think, Jordan, didn't you file for your company? Yeah, my company. Now let me explain this. It's my knowledge. My motion picture company only makes $100. So it doesn't make that, so it never goes over the bracket, you know. But yeah, I do have to file for local income tax on my company regardless, you know. But I like to use H&R Blocks. They have a good reputation. They're usually pretty good, you know. I can't really recall them ever screwing up. I mean, there's probably been cases where they've made mistakes here and there, but most of the time I heard them doing very good. And the reason I use H&R Blocks is because last year I had Jackson who went to it, and they didn't do a great job. Jordan says they screwed up, almost got me in, and I had to go in with an audit. They screwed up. Okay, no, they didn't screw up. I didn't get audited by either federal, state, county, and local. But what happened was they goofed up, and I had to pay a lot of money to them for the service, and I didn't get really anything back. So that was the reason why. So that's just my dealings with H&R Blocks. I don't know. See you all later. Bye.